Now, we're joined by Father Bob Longobucco, known as Father Bob, from St. Kateri Tekakwitha Parish in Niskayuna. Thanks for being here with us this
Glad
noon.
to be here.
And you mentioned that you look at this as an act of bravery on the Pope's behalf. Why is that?
Well, for one thing, presidents is always important in the Catholic Church. The fact that nobody's done this in 700 years makes it a fairly brave move. But mostly, his idea to serve, that's what he really lived for. That's what his whole ministry's been about. You know, I was thinking about people in the Middle East, dictators, who also have power like the Pope does, and what they do to hold on to it. They'll massacre their own people. And here's a person with great power who's ready to give it over just to be a better servant leader.
Would you say this is almost, you mentioned his character, it's not surprising knowing who he is as a person, so is it kind of a progressive move on his part?
He's been humble from the very first moment he became Pope. He said, why would God choose such an unworthy servant? He also, I always loved the idea that he moved midnight mass back to 10 o'clock just because he said he was older. I mean, that's really realizing who you are and what you can do. And he's done it again for our whole church.
This news came out here locally for us just after 6 o'clock this morning. There's a lot of confusion at first. Do you think maybe some of the faithful feel a sense of abandonment by him?
I hope not. I think this is a Pope at a moment saying he's also a human being. And we've all known people at his age slowing down. We couldn't possibly imagine having those kinds of responsibilities at 85. We can barely imagine having those kind of responsibilities at our best.
It's very true. Now, what happens next is the big question. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, there'll be a conclave. I imagine they'll want to get this done by Easter because bishops have to be back in their churches by Easter like the rest of us. I think that we're looking for a good pastor. That's my great hope. Somebody who everybody knows is they're being cared about, they're being remembered, they're being prayed for. That's the greatest hope we can have for us as a church.
Okay. Father Bob, thank you very much for being here with us this noon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.